In the meantime, let's talk about the Environment Agency, shall we? Declaring a drought in the West and East Midlands and warning that other regions could follow. It's making plans for a reasonable worst-case scenario, showing much of England suffering drought or prolonged dry weather. Even with rainfall just 20% below normal and no further heat waves, it's expected to deteriorate over the course of August. Meanwhile, by autumn, Devon and Cornwall will be the only regions completely unaffected by drought. The Water and Flooding Minister, Emma Hardy, says the government's preparing for every eventuality.
We need to stop talking about these being extreme weather events and start to accept that because of climate change, things like this are going to be more normal. So as for whether more companies will introduce temporary use bans, that really genuinely depends on what happens with the weather over the next few months. We want to reassure the public that we are prepared for any eventuality, and the focus of this government is making sure that everyone continues to get water, they continue to have their wastewater services, and for them that life continues as normal. But of course, we're a serious government and we're taking precautions.
Let's bring in our science correspondent, Thomas Moore, for more details.
The National Drought Group, which has representatives from the government, the water industry and other water industry groups like anglers and people from the canals and so on, they've been meeting this morning looking at the current situation, the dry weather, which has really continued since the start of the year. And they say that two more regions, the East and the West Midlands, will join the North West and Yorkshire as officially being in drought. There have also been released some projections from the Environment Agency suggesting that even if rainfall is just 20% below normal and there are no further heat waves, that more regions, total of an extra 5, so another 3 from those already announced today, will go into drought. So that will mean much of the country, stretching from the north all the way down to Hampshire, will be officially in drought. Now, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be a hosepipe ban, but it makes it a lot more likely because it reflects water scarcity in the region. Not enough falling from the sky, not enough flowing on the land, so the rivers are very low. The reservoirs, as you can see there, extremely low with the banks showing bare soil. Now, all that should be topped up with water, but nationally, 75%, or rather, reservoirs are only at 75% of capacity, and this is still relatively early in the summer. In fact, levels are below what they were in the last severe drought in 2022. So they are trying to stay ahead of worse effects to come, and that's why they are announcing this drought in these regions, urging people to take action, trying to spare what water they have, turn off the taps when they're brushing teeth, take shorter showers, all these measures, even if they're not in an official hosepipe ban area. Now, in terms of that, 5 million are in Yorkshire already facing restrictions. By this time next week, there will be a further 3 million in some areas of the southeast and in the Thames water region too.